back, baby. Okay, we are back. If you're new here, hi, my name is Ty. I'm 31 years old. I live in New York City. Welcome to my new series, Ty Talk, where we sit down and we actually have conversations that lead to connection and better understanding. I'm super excited that you're here. Before we get into all what we're gonna talk about today, hit that subscribe button. Join the fam. We drop videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, okay? So I want to see you back here. Another thing, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, TikTok. I just got back on Snapchat, and I want to stay connected with you guys now that we have all the introductions out of the way. So today's topic is going to be about the modern woman and why she's lonely and has no friends. I think that we don't talk about this enough. And the reason why I decided to bring this to YouTube is because we talk about cutting people off, setting boundaries, severing ties. We talk about the importance of that, but what we don't talk about is why people are lacking community and how to cultivate it. I want you to grab your water, your wine, your matcha. I have a oat milk matcha that I will be drinking while we talk about this because I'm a matcha girly. Also, if you like matcha, drop that down below because I need to know, like, what do you be putting in your matcha? I'm a lavender matcha girly myself, okay? We constantly talk about how to let people go, but we don't talk about how to let people in. And we also don't speak to the habits or the patterns that we may be holding and how those habits can be the reasons why we're not cultivating really strong friendship. I may read you for filth because there's a reason why you clicked on this video. And if it's too much, just know I'm holding your hand the entire time that I'm saying this, okay? So let's get into it. So to the girls that are really struggling to keep friends, this video is for you. Number one, I want to speak to the reality of female friendships. The way that we portray female friendships in media is a huge misrepresentation of the reality of female friendships. We got Girlfriends, we got Sex and the City, we got Insecure, we got Living Single. These are all amazing shows that show the benefit of having community and really great friends, right? But it doesn't speak to the reality of what it's really like to be someone's pillar. Female friendships take work. So when women are sitting on social media talking about how they don't have friends, and then I go into the comments and I see women saying, oh my God, yes, I just want someone I can go get brunch with, someone I can get my nails done with, someone I can go on vacation with. But it's like, if that's how you're approaching friendships, you're setting yourself back drastically. I have a best friend that I've been best friends with since we were 8 years old. So that's a long ass time. And for you to think that the reason why this friendship lasts so long is because we get brunch and we get our nails done together, run errands together, that's the furthest thing from. Me and my best friend probably see each other once a month, but we talk to each other almost every single day. And the reason why the friendship lasts as long as it did is because it takes work. Us as women, we're socialized to be empathetic, to be emotionally aware, to be attuned to myself and someone else's needs, right? Not when it comes to the men. It's not like that with men. 9 times out of 10 in relationships between men and women are doing a lot of the emotional labor. When it comes to being in a female friendship where someone also has needs that they can articulate and communicate, when someone also is attuned to your mood and your feeling and your vibes, when someone else is also have been socialized the same way you've been socialized, it takes work. And when we have obstacles or things that happen that put us at odds with each other, we make it our mission to sit down and make sure that one another is understood and heard. And what I've realized when it comes to women that want female friendships, but those same women will argue with their man until they're blue in the face and do everything in their power to keep that man around. Do you guys not realize that female friendships are relationships too? And just because you're not partaking in the activity, if you know what I mean, you know what I mean, does not negate the weight of that relationship. Do you see what I'm saying? Number two, because we love the aesthetic of girlhood, we love the matching outfits, going out to brunch, going to different countries together. We love all of that. But then we'll end up doing that with someone who doesn't have the same principles as us. I spoke about people wanting to go out get things, do things, right? If that's the way that you're approaching female relationships, is just about the outings and not about the connection, you will end up attracting the wrong kind of people to your orbit. You'll end up getting the girl that likes to do surface shit, but when you want to go deeper and talk about your childhood trauma, or talk about the existential dread that you feel, or talk about the panic that you feel when it comes to the current political climate, and she has a habit of redirecting the conversation back to herself and her perfume and her nails, just know you chose that. I told you I was gonna hold your hand while I said what I was gonna say. When me and my best friend go out, we live in 2 different boroughs, we'll meet up in Manhattan, we'll have a good time, right? But her safety is my responsibility, and vice versa. And although we are normally going in 2 opposite directions, I'm telling her, hey, call me when you get into your Uber, stay on the phone with me so I know that you got home, and vice versa, because we are responsible for each other. Your safety is my priority. And I think that when it comes to female friendships, I'll hear girls saying, oh my God, she was so clingy. She wanted me to check up on her when she got home. Like, what am I, her man? No, you're her best friend. And for you to think that that certain level of support, present, only is on reserve for someone that you're in a relationship with, that's why you're not making any female friends. Look at how you regard them. Oh, don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. But the thing is, sisterhood isn't just about pretty moments. It's about doing the work to sustain the relationship. It's about being attuned. It's about circling back. It's about acknowledging. It's about conflict resolution. It's about that amongst so many other things. And that is a lot of labor. And if you are only used to giving that labor to a man with the hopes of getting something in return, then that is where the problem lies. But all of that takes work. All of it takes work. And I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm not trying to ruffle any feathers, but I think that we need to have this conversation to better understand what role are we playing in this. So we're going to talk about the challenges and why some women struggle with female friendships. A lot of the reasons why women struggle to be in community with other women is because the first woman that showed them what that was supposed to be like may have been narcissistic and in competition with them. And that woman that I'm talking about is your mother. Your first relationship with women is with your mom. And if that relationship is shaky, if that relationship is unsafe, if that relationship has been unkind, then you're gonna look at other women like that. But one thing I wanna make very clear is your responsibility to heal your wounds that your mom left, because let me tell you something. If you don't heal the wounds that your mom left, you will end up attracting women who are exactly like your mom. I didn't mean to shake the table, but I had to say this. So like I said, I'm not blaming women. The reason why women are struggling when it comes to having female friends, on top of this, they're very male-centered. Many women are socialized to prioritize romantic partnership over friendships, leading to neglect. They prioritize their relationships over their friendships. And for me, that's a very one-sided friendship, because it's like, when you're up, I don't hear from you. But when you're down, you're calling my phone down. And then when I'm down, I can't even call you because you're too busy doing what you got going on. That's where it becomes very neglectful. Thing is, a lot of people, when they get into relationships, they start to neglect their friendships. My friends have always been in relationships, but one thing I appreciate about the fact that they've been in relationships, they still show up in our friendship. Their friendship and their relationship are on the same playing field, and they prioritize things accordingly. And I love that, because my friends are not male-centered. And because my friends are not male-centered, they can be a girlfriend to that man but still be my best friend too. And I think a lot of women, they struggle with that. It's also society standards. It's like, well, you pair off, you have kids, life goes on, you don't see your friends as much. While you're building this life with this partner, who's acknowledging and pouring into you? Because you want me to believe a man is doing that? I'll wait. So another challenge and why some women struggle with female friendships is trust issues, competition, societal narrative about female relationships being messy or drama filled. I can't tell you how many times I've watched Real Housewives of whatever and just seen women go at it. They're creating a narrative that is not real. Like women just can't get along. If someone has not been exposed to real, genuine friendship, If that's what they're being fed, how can they believe that there's anything different? And that's another challenge that we face. I can understand why you struggle to make female friendships and why all you want is to have the surface level things when it comes to a friendship. But I'm gonna tell you why female friendships are important. Women, we thrive in community. We are community oriented individuals. We really love to come together. We love to socialize. There are so many studies to prove it. I don't have to even get into it. Even right now, I bet you 9 times out of 10 there's a woman watching this video right now. Hey girl, hey sis, I love that you're here. You know, having a strong support system is essential to our well-being. It's essential. If it wasn't for my friends, I don't think I would have gotten through losing my mother. If it wasn't for my friends, I don't think I would have gotten through losing my job. If it wasn't for my friends, I don't think I'd be able to sit in front of this camera made up, pursuing my dreams. I have a village of women behind me that are constantly pouring into me and acknowledging who I am as a human being and telling me that I am capable of anything. And I'm so grateful for that. We all need something like that. We all deserve that. We are all deserving of that. And that's what I want you guys to understand, that like womanhood and sisterhood is fucking amazing. A lot of us survive and thrive because we have a great support system of people behind us. Number 2, unlike romantic relationships, deep female friendships provide a different kind of stability. When it comes to being a woman, we're socialized completely differently. How we're socialized to have more empathy, to be more attuned, to be more aware. So to be able to know that I can look to my left and know that somebody can understand exactly what I'm going through bar for bar is one of the most validating experiences I've ever had the luxury of experiencing. Because I can't tell you how many times I've talked to somebody's son about something that they did that bothered me, but for some reason he can't understand that, but he knows how to like fucking create a whole team for a fantasy football league that he'll never play in. You don't know why that hurt me, but you can understand cybersecurity. Okay, all right, cool. And also when it comes to having female friendships, we offer a space for vulnerability, accountability, and growth. I'll tell you how many times I've tried to get out of something and my friend will be like, so remember that time you said you were going to do that thing and you didn't do that thing? Yeah, maybe you should get to doing that thing. When I told my friend I was going to go to school to become a nurse, and I was like talking about it, she's like, but you haven't signed up for anything. So, and I know her well enough to know she didn't mean anything malice by it. That was her saying, get on your Zoom. Like, that was her saying, girl, get on your Zoom. When I told her I wanted to come back to YouTube, and she's like, are we going to continue planning the videos, or are we going to post the video? And shout out to Danielle, because Danielle, she fucking holds me accountable. But it's like, when you want to develop into the person that you want to become, your girls are right by your side. When I have a decision to make, I'm calling my girls. I am calling my girls. We've talked about a few things. We've talked about the reality of female friendships, why female friendships are important, the challenges that some women may face when it comes to making friends. Now we're gonna speak about what we can do about it. How can we build and maintain healthy friendships? What does that look like? Number 1, a friendship requires consistency. The same way you feel about a man not texting you is the same way you need to feel about your friend not circling back to you either. Especially the ones that you value, okay? So they require consistency. Checking in. Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. Oh my God, the girl is rude. Me and Alexa are not friends. We just coexist. We're coworkers. Alexa, I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it.
See, she knows what it is. Anyway, friendships require consistency, checking in, making time, and being present. And I want to speak about that. People think that being present means being in the same space as somebody. No, being present means being emotionally present. Presence is very important in every relationship, especially female friendships, because no one wants to feel like they're doing the labor alone. A lot of women are doing a lot of emotional labor in their relationships by themselves. If you feel like you're in the friendship alone and you can't talk to that person about the fact that you feel alone in the friendship and you feel yourself slowly but surely drifting away, I always say give one last ditch effort, have one last conversation, and at least when you walk away, you know you walked away with everything out in the open. Also, Understand this. As your friendship grows and evolves and your needs change, there needs to be verbiage for that, right? So whenever I want to like just call one of my friends, I ask them, do they have capacity? Because I'm well aware that we are adults. I told you I have one friend that's planning a wedding, one friend that just bought a house, one friend that is grieving someone that she just lost. It's also my duty as a friend to make sure they have capacity before I just call and start like dumping on them. If they don't have the capacity, it's my responsibility to ask if they have it. And that's another thing too, like finding the verbiage as the friendship evolves to better understand how to be there for one another and the way that we need to be. So the space where they feel like they actually have mutual support is usually in their friendships, where it's like, I know, I get that, I see where that bothered you, no, that's not okay, oh, I hurt you in that way, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you in that way, but I understand why that hurt you. Like, we don't get that often as women off rip by ourselves, where our experiences are constantly invalidated living in a male dominated world. They're constantly invalidated. So the space that you know where you can be validated, heard, seen, understood is going to be your female friendships. Another thing you can do to build and maintain meaningful friendship: communication. Communication is key in every relationship, but especially with your girls. It is super important to communicate, because I can't tell you how many times friendships have ended over misunderstandings that could have been solved had we had a conversation. Communication is freaking key. Being honest about your needs, expectations, helps avoid unnecessary fallouts, because it's very easy to have a falling out in a friendship when it's like, well, you should have known X, Y, and Z, why didn't you know? And it's like, I don't look at things the way that you look at things. So because I didn't see it from that perspective, I can understand how this caused conflict, and I didn't mean to hurt you, and I'm sorry that it did hurt you. And the last thing you can do when it comes to cultivating healthy, meaningful friendships: investing in your friendships the same way you would invest in your romantic relationships. Thoughtfulness, effort, and appreciation, all that matters. And that should not be on the back burner or only reserved for someone that you're in a romantic relationship with. People love to feel acknowledged and seen. They like to see that their effort is being validated. And when it comes to your friendships, like, that's just as important. On top of that, when you start to practice this stuff in your friendships, it becomes natural in your romantic relationships. But if you only let these parts of your personality come out romantically, that means that you are literally negating another part of your social life. You're negating another relationship, because it's like, well, I only do that for my man, or I'll only do that for my partner. I don't do that for anybody else. And it's like, certain things, yes. But when it comes to how you operate in a relationship, your girls, your friendships are relationships too. Just because they're not romantic does not mean they're not relationships. They are relationships. And you have to make sure that you're putting the effort in to keep these relationships afloat by being present, by communicating, by giving the effort, by appreciating the person that you're in friendship with. Because I started to go out more with my friends, because I want to see them more. I want to take more pictures with them. I want to go out with them more. When we have those moments, like at the end of each and every night, I'm like, hey, like, I just love that we spend time together. I appreciate that you made it out here. I know you had work today. I know you were tired. I know you were on your period. Like, thank you for just being here with me. Like, I love that you showed up. Like, thank you. Or thank you for taking me to this random spot that you wanted to go to for like months on end. I love it, and I can't wait to come back with you. You know, like, those things just make the friendship so much more sweeter, and it makes it so much more worth it. Do you know what I mean? So I have some closing thoughts. Okay, so let's get into those. It's very important to value your relationship with your girls. It's super important, because they know you better than anyone else knows you. Like, they know where the bodies are buried. They know where the insecurities lie. They've propped you up in ways that no one else have. They've loved you in ways you didn't even think love existed in that way. And it's really like, lean into those relationships, because those relationships help you see that love comes in all shapes, forms, and from different areas. Number 2, we all deserve to know what it feels like to be nurtured, and we should not have to wait until we're in partnership to feel that. Friends are the reason why I haven't called my ex. Like, some of my friends are like, yo, like, they care about me in ways that man did not. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna hang out with them. They get me. They love me. They're here for me. And I love that, you know? I want you to take some time to really reflect on what a real, genuine friendship looks like to you, aside from brunch, running errands, going on vacations, matching outfits, grabbing coffee. I want you to think a little bit deeper. I want you to think about your friendship as a sisterhood, and what would you want out of a sister that you don't get in other areas of your life? What would you want? And how would you want that person to show up? And on top of that, what are you giving? That's way more important than what do you want. What are you giving? How are you showing up in friendships? Are you thinking that the communication that this girl wants feels a little cringe because she's not my man? And if that's how you're thinking, then maybe you need to take a step back and think about what kind of friend you want to be. And if you don't like that kind of community and connection, then maybe a surface friendship is for you. But if you want something deeper, if you want people that's going to throw you a random surprise baby shower, someone who's going to tell you, hey, you're getting married, I'll do your makeup for you, no problem, whatever. Like, if you want someone who's going to be there and help you set up your baby shower, or like push you to start that new business, or even go into partnership with you in that business, then you're going to have to think a little bit deeper on what you want out of a friendship. And it all comes down to how you feel around them. How do you feel? When you get off the phone with this person, do you feel drained or do you feel better? Do you want to call them back after 10 minutes when you talk to them for 2 hours? Do you guys speak about things that you never thought you could speak about with anybody else? Think about these things. Really, really, really think about these things and reflect on. And on top of that, I want you to be intentional. Be intentional with the relationships that you have. Don't be afraid to have a conversation, because especially let's say if you have friends that you've had friends for a while, don't be afraid to have a conversation about how you want the dynamic to be a little bit different. You can always do that. You can always have a conversation about how I want the dynamic to be different. I want more community. I want more connection. I want more whatever. Because as you get older, your needs are going to change. So what you needed from your girl when you were 20 is not what you're going to need from your girl when you're 30. Who you were at 17 is not who you are at 27. Do you know what I mean? And you have to have conversations so the dynamic shifts can be smoother, so you can make sure that this person is not just there for a chapter, but there for the whole entire book. It takes work to be in community with people. It does. It really does. Especially when you guys are socialized the same way. It takes a lot of work. But I'm telling you that it is worth it. And before we end this video, I just have a couple of questions. Do you feel like maintaining friendships as adults is harder than it used to be? Why or why not? I want you to write that. I want you to write your answer down in the comment. I want to know what your thoughts are. How do you feel about maintaining adult friendships? Have you struggled with female friendships in the past? Why or why not? And what was your biggest challenge with it? What was your biggest challenge? Like, I think we need to talk about that as well. And my last question is, have you ever lost a friendship due to lack of effort on their part or yours? I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was so fun to bring it to you. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe to the channel. Turn those post notifications on, because we drop videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next video.